Please do make sure to subscribe, like and share to support us for more stories. It started like any other late evening at the train station, crowded, noisy, and full of people too tired to care about one another's stories. I was sitting on a cold metal bench near platform 9, my suitcase beside me, waiting for the 8:45 express to Abuja. The air smelled of diesel and rain. My phone buzzed, and I got caught up in a heated conversation with my sister. She was reminding me, again, not to miss my connecting bus. I remember laughing, distracted, as a tiny shadow darted across the corner of my vision. A little girl, maybe 6 or 7 years old. Her hair was in uneven pigtails, and her pink dress was torn at the hem. She didn't look lost, she looked terrified. Before I could ask if she was okay, she did something so strange, so sudden, that it didn't even register as real until later. The girl crawled right up to my suitcase, unzipped it halfway, looked around in panic, and, without a word, climbed inside. I blinked, my phone still at my ear. Hey, sweetheart, what are you doing? She pressed a finger to her lips, trembling. Then she whispered, voice breaking, "Please, hide me. He's coming." My stomach dropped. What? Whose? That's when I heard the footsteps. Heavy, fast, and when I looked up, I saw him. A tall man, maybe in his mid-30s, dressed too neatly for the chaos of the station. He was running, eyes wide, face tense, but when he spotted me, he slowed down, and a calm, practiced smile spread across his face. "Excuse me," he said politely, with a tone too measured to be natural. "Have you seen a little girl?" "My daughter. She ran off a few minutes ago. She's wearing a pink dress." I could still feel the tiny heartbeat thumping against the fabric of my suitcase, and without thinking, I zipped it shut. My mind was racing. What if he was telling the truth? What if I'd just hidden someone's actual daughter from her father? But something in his eyes, cold, calculating, made my instincts flare. "She ran this way," he said again, stepping closer. "You must have seen her. She's small, curly hair, a little confused." He forced a chuckle, but his gaze darted around, scanning every corner like a predator that had lost its prey. I clutched the handle of my suitcase. I could feel it shift slightly, just enough to remind me that a scared little girl was inside, trusting me to keep her safe. I cleared my throat. "Sorry, I've been on the phone. Didn't see any child." He studied me for a long moment, the fake smile fading. "Are you sure?" "Positive." He tilted his head, squinting, then slowly let out a sigh. "All right then. Maybe she ran the other way." He walked off, but not far. He lingered at the ticket stand, pretending to make a call. His eyes never stopped scanning the area. That was the moment my heart started pounding so hard it felt like it was echoing in my ears. I knelt down and whispered toward my bag. "It's okay, sweetheart. He's gone, I think." But she didn't answer. Just a faint, muffled sob. "Hey, you're safe now. What's your name?" Silence. Then, in the smallest whisper, "Lila." "Okay, Lila. I'm Ada." I took a shaky breath. "Do you know that man?" Her answer came like a dagger. "He took me. From my school." I froze. "What?" She hiccuped. "He said my mom sent him. But he lied. He tried to take me away in his car. I ran." Every nerve in my body went cold. I glanced around again, my pulse hammering. The man was now pacing near the restroom, pretending to look at his phone. If what she said was true, I wasn't just helping a lost child. I was hiding a kidnapped one. The loudspeaker announced the incoming train. People shuffled forward, unaware that a silent war was unfolding just a few meters away. I needed to think fast. The man was too close, and if he saw my suitcase move, everything would be over. I texted my sister. Call the police. Train station. Possible kidnapping. I'll send location. Then I slid my phone back in my pocket and forced myself to breathe normally. He came back, and this time he smiled wider. "Hey," he said, leaning on the bench beside me. "You look nervous. Everything okay?" His voice had softened, too soft, like he was testing me. "Yeah," I said, forcing a shrug. "Just waiting for my train." He looked down at my suitcase. "Nice bag. You traveling far?" "I am." He nodded. "You sure you didn't see a little girl? Pink dress? About this tall?" He raised his hand, smiling again, but his eyes, God, those eyes, were empty. I tried to laugh lightly. "So, I've been on a call this whole time." He studied me for one long, piercing moment. Then, he crouched, right next to the suitcase. My throat tightened. His hand brushed the zipper. "Mind if I check inside? Just in case she climbed in there for fun? Kids can be sneaky." I forced a nervous chuckle, pulling the suitcase closer. "That's ridiculous. Why would?" And then, as if by some miracle, a station guard shouted across the platform, "Sir, you're not allowed past the line without a ticket." He turned sharply, irritation flashing across his face. In that split second, I made my move. I stood, gripped the suitcase, and walked, fast, toward the train door. The man's voice followed me. "Hey, wait. I just want to talk." I didn't look back. I boarded the train, found a seat, and locked the suitcase between my legs. The doors shut. The whistle blew. And as the train began to move, I finally exhaled. For 10 long minutes, I sat frozen, afraid to move or speak. When I finally unzipped the suitcase, Lila's tiny face peeked out, eyes swollen from crying. "It's okay," I whispered. "He's not here anymore." She looked up at me, those big, frightened eyes, and whispered, "Are you going to give me back to him?" My heart broke. "No, sweetheart, I won't." She threw her arms around my neck, sobbing quietly. "He said no one would help me." I held her tighter. He was wrong. The train rumbled through the night. I called the police, gave them every detail I could remember, and they promised to meet me at the next major stop. But before I hung up, Lila tugged on my sleeve. He said he knows my mom's house. That single sentence chilled me more than anything else. If he wasn't caught tonight, he'd go after her again. When the train stopped at Kaduna, officers were already waiting. They took Lila gently, wrapped her in a blanket, and led her away to safety. I watched as they questioned passengers, searching for the man, but he was gone, vanished into the crowd. One of the officers told me quietly, "We've been looking for him for months. He's taken at least 2 other children. You saved that girl's life tonight." I didn't feel like a hero. My hands were still trembling. I could still hear Lila's whisper echoing in my mind, "Please hide me." Before they left, Lila looked back at me from the police car window and mouthed 2 words that shattered me completely. "Thank you." It's been 3 months since that night. The authorities reunited Lila with her real mother, and the man, after a long chase, was finally arrested. Every time I travel now, I still use the same suitcase, but I can't look at it the same way. Sometimes, when the train rocks and the station lights blur past, I imagine her tiny voice again. Please, hide me. And I remember how one ordinary evening, between a phone call and a train whistle, fate handed me the chance to save a child's life.